Welcome. We're going over how to do imports in SalesRabbit. So we're in the web portal for SalesRabbit. Why would we do an import? The idea is to take leads or customer pins that you already have that exist in your CRM, or maybe from a marketing company or wherever your leads may be coming from, is to take those and you're wanting to upload and put them into SalesRabbit. So that way they populate in your leads tab as well in the map. So what we're going to do is under Sales Hub, we're going to hit the drop down. We're going to select import. Here's a list of all the historical imports that you've done, whether they were successful, on what date you did them. This can help you if you forget whether you've done an import or not. You'll be able to see all your data and history here. Where we go to do a new import is up at the top right. We're going to press import. It's going to give you two options, leads versus customers. Customer pins are select type of pins. This is typically used in our telco industry. And you can do certain type of filtration based off of customers versus pretty much everything else is going to be leads. So most of the time you're going to be using leads. Today we're going to select leads. And then most likely what we're going to do is upload a file. You do have an option to manually enter data row by row and get everything added in. It's most likely going to be easier to just upload a file. So select upload file. It's going to pull from your Finder or from your computer, and you can choose whatever file it is. I'm going to start with this because it's actually purposely going to give me wrong information so we can go through that process. It's slowly going to load. It's going to extract all the data from your file. And then here we're going to start mapping fields. What this is in the columns in your spreadsheet, in your CSV file, it's going to ask where do you want these fields to populate and land. Oftentimes it's going to auto map and it's going to be accurate, but every once in a while it may be wrong just based off of how you've entered in that data or how it reads it. And so just give it a glance. Make sure that everything looks correct. If something is incorrect, you'll just hit that X right here, or you'll change to what it's supposed to be. So you hit the drop down and you can go look for what it's supposed to be. Once you have all your fields mapped appropriately, we're going to press continue. And then it's going to load all of the fields into here. One of the first things you're going to notice that there are errors, the red fields, or you'll notice here invalid 685. So the reason for why are these wrong? Well, it's going to tell me right here. I'm going to look here and it says user not found. Or I can go over to my lead status and it says valid status required. And it's going to give me the list of all the different lead statuses that it could be. So this status of lead does not exist in my statuses options. And so what I'm going to have to do is update these to be one of the appropriate users based off of their name, or for lead status, we need to update this and make sure that it's one of the available lead statuses. So I can do this a couple of different ways. The first way is to actually go back to your file and go update all of these columns, make sure that everything is accurate, it has a lead status or it has a lead owner, etc. The second way is to manually update it. So I can come right here. We'll go to a status and we can just double click and press not home. And then it'll change. So we don't have not home AM. And then now it's white, it's no longer red, meaning that it is valid. We'll change the name here. Both of these are now valid. And now this lead can get uploaded and you'll notice valid 1 right now. And we're at 684. One of the other ways is doing a replace and find. So if I know that I have multiple lead statuses that are incorrect, I need to update those all to not home. Rather than doing that in your file, you can do it in here. So I can go to my 3 dots under lead status, and I have the ability to either one, replace empty values, or I can find and replace. So in this case, I'll take all my ones that say lead, 35 matches, and then I'm going to replace with not home AM or whatever I want to replace with. And then I select replace all. And then now you'll notice that it starts to populate these not home AMs. So a few different ways to update errors in here. And something to note is that if you try to upload and any of these are invalid, the whole entire lead's going to be omitted from the import, and it's not ever going to go into SalesRabbit. So it's just automatically going to scrape them out or scrap them out of the file. Once you feel ready and comfortable with what you have, then you're going to press submit here at the top right, press confirm, and it will begin the process. Here we go. So right here, it's going to show me file name, show me who was the one that did this, blah, 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 the records that are in. And then it's going to say queued. And this is important, especially if you're doing large files. If you're doing, 140,000 leads, that's going to take a lot longer than 5, 10, 100, 1,000 leads. And so what's going to happen is it's going to go into a queue state, and slowly the system is going to start pulling these records in. So the larger the file, the longer it's going to take for it to go into a complete status, meaning that all leads have come through. Um, Certain files like 1 or 2 or 10 leads, 1,000 leads, they're only going to take a couple of minutes. But if we start looking into the 100,000, 120, 150,000 range, that can take 30, 45 minutes to do. So just be patient as you're going to see leads slowly funneling in. It may take some time based off of also how many other, do we have other imports that are going on? Do we have other action happening in the account? The last thing to notice is that, again, this import limit, 150,000 records, we can't go above that number. So just be conscious when you're looking at the file that you're adding, is if you are above that number, going to need to split that file into 2 different files. So that way you can get everything imported accurately. Thanks for joining us.